Afrikaners are building their own school in Pretoria. It's a hot conversation now. People of the other races are saying, why the hell are you guys creating your own Afrikaner university? You see, and I was listening to radio. They had a debate. They had a person who's representative of the Afrikaner people, and I think it was a black lady on the radio, and he was saying, no, guys, we want our own school because we're feeling like democracy only takes care of the majority rule. But we are also minority, and we are people too. We wanna learn in Afrikaans, and we're creating a facility for that. And they were saying, no, that's not fair. Okay.
Yeah, so basically a private Afrikaans language university called Academia, backed by its solidarity movement, is constructing a brand new campus in Pretoria East. And the project is estimated to be around 3.2 billion.
Yes.
The campus is to be built in collaboration with real estate developers and so forth. And then the campus will accommodate approximately 5,000 undergraduate students and 1.5 postgraduate students. And it's scheduled to... Academia is planning on doing a second full-time Afrikaans campus as well in the Western Cape, scheduled to open in 2026.
And they're moving fast.
They're moving fast. Is it open to everyone? Because we do have a lot of people in this country speak Afrikaans.
I mean, it is open to...
Habari ma Afrika, mimi ni King, nina furaha kukutana na wewe. Asante kwa kutazama Kingsley. So thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning back again on the PASETA YouTube channel. My name is Kagiso Hlongwane, host in Chiva. I am the president of the Pan-African School of Economics, Technology and Agriculture. I'm starting this video with the clip to remind you guys that tomorrow belongs to those who plan for it today. It's very important to start it under that note. Academia is making a lot of progress. Academia, like you heard from the podcasters, young ladies and gentlemen on that podcast, is an Afrikaner university that is being built in the eastern side of Pretoria. Now, what happens in South Africa is that the Afrikaner community usually live in a different reality than the African people who live in South Africa. One of those realities is that affordability is a different challenge for the both races. The Afrikaner people, when you look at the unemployment rate amongst Afrikaner people, is 8%. When you look at the unemployment rate amongst African people, it's more than 37% in South Africa right now as we are talking. So we are looking at a reality where historically disadvantaged people are looking to climb up the ladder of life, the ladder of economy, the ladder of surviving, and they still have to compete with the people that have had generational wealth, apartheid generated wealth, and they are still living under the privilege that the economy belongs in the minority white people that still rule our country. Now, ladies and gentlemen, PASETA is not a response to academia. PASETA is not a response to Orania. PASETA is a response to the cry of the youth of June 16, 1976. It is a response to say African people wanted to be taught in their language. African people wanted their own schools that teach them properly how to advance in terms of economical power. That is the important thing. The June 16, 1976 youth understood that the education system is disadvantaging them, and that is why they wanted to fight. It was not just a call to learn in their language, but it was the call to learn equal and quality education to their white counterparts. Now, that never happened in South Africa. After that riot, we have what we call the Bantu education. After the Bantu education, in the new democracy, artificial democracy of South Africa and the rest of Africa, we have an issue where we call education from grade 1 to grade 12, we call it basic education. In South Africa, they call it basic education. So our children has been receiving basic education. Now, let me tell you something, South Africans. Let me tell you something, my people from Uganda. Let me tell you something, my people from Nigeria. Let me tell you something, my people from Mali and my people from Zimbabwe. If we don't do anything right now, we will find ourselves 10 years later watching the Dutch, watching the European advancing in our country, and we will not be able to explain why is it that we are still behind. We don't have an excuse anymore. Yes, apartheid has affected us. Yes, colonization has affected us. But what we have that the colonizers don't have is the numerical advantage over everything that we're doing. Anything that African people touches turns into wealth. BMW would not be BMW without Africa. There is no brand that Louis Vuitton will never be Louis Vuitton with besides Africans supporting it. Any brand from China cannot be a big brand up until Africa buys into. Africa has the biggest market in everything that you are going to buy and sell. So that if with that understanding, it means that Africa has got a buying power. They are consumers in their right because they don't own the means of production. So that has to change. And the only way you can change it, ladies and gentlemen, is to start at the education level. If the education at school given to our children does not teach our children ownership, but it teaches them how to work, nothing will ever change. Now, we are watching academia. Afrikaans University, the African people proud of their heritage, proud of their culture, proud of them putting together hands and building something that is their own. Now in South Africa, we're going to have a situation that in 2026, when this university finally opens, you're going to find African people fighting to go into the university and calling the African people racist. To a certain degree, yes, they are. But when it comes to us building our own, we fail 9 out of 10. So that is why PASETA was born. PASETA is saying, how can we have the numerical advantage, but still are not able to put in companies, organizations, institutions that are credible, that can advance the program of the African agenda? What is the African agenda? Getting back our economy, getting back our minerals, getting back our land, understanding how the financial market works, and understanding that we have to participate meaningfully, not as customers, but as competitors in those markets. Now, I'm not going to be one of those people that will be fighting academia and say on canals and the scholar. A lot of people want to play that game because they themselves don't want to do anything. We have watched Oranje being built from 1991 up until 2025. Look at the progress that they had. We can have the same progress, African people, if we put our hands together. We've got no excuse. Our generation must come to a realization that the previous generation have played their part, and the next generation will be affected by our decisions and our laziness if we don't do anything. Hence, we want to do PASETA. Now, you have seen the beautiful visuals of academia. Nothing compared to the Pan-African School of Economics, Technology and Agriculture. Nothing compared. Now, for those who don't know what PASETA is, maybe it's the first time you are running across this concept of PASETA. PASETA is a movement that seeks to build Africanized schools in the entire continent. We want to build schools and infiltrate the curriculum of every school so that it can favor the needs of each country. Each country has got different needs, and each country is at a different, growth stage or level. And each country needs a different interpretation as to how the education system needs to affect the coming generation. And PASETA is exactly that. PASETA says we want to look into the problems of the country. Each and every country, whether you are in Zambia, look at the problems of your country. Put your problems in a textbook and teach the solutions to the children at school. And once those children graduate out of school, then you know you have developed thinkers. You have developed doers instead of those who are going to march and look for jobs and look for survival tactics just to get a job and work up until retirement at the age of 65. That's something that PASETA is not going to preach. So don't be one of those people who are watching PASETA and you don't want to contribute. Don't be one of those people who is skeptical about everything that Black excellence presents to you. And because it's African people, you say, no, it's probably going to fail. Don't be one of those people who's waiting to see PASETA turning 5 years old before you support us. PASETA is crying to say that Dutch people, the Afrikaner people are building as we are watching. Let's also do something in our lifetime. That is the call. And we did our best as PASETA. We've got an African footprint. PASETA is found in Namibia, in Lesotho, and in other African countries. Now, what is happening with PASETA is that on the 2nd of May, 2025, we launched PASETA. We had what we call a gala dinner of PASETA, and we launched the school. And in that gala dinner, we made a presentation as to, guys, this is how much we need. We need this amount of money to build this PASETA school. I don't know what to say to you Africans. I don't know what to say. We need your assistance. We need your contribution. We don't want your good luck. We don't want your, we are behind you. We don't want any words of encouragement. We need financial capabilities. We need financial resources to build PASETA. That's what we need. Academia is costing them 3.2 billion rands. 3.2 billion rands. They are opening. They are launching academia in 2026. In 2026, they are launching it. When are we launching PASETA? Only you carry the answer to that question. Because if you don't contribute, we don't launch PASETA. Now, they're looking for 3.2 billion. PASETA is looking for 478 million. $500 million is what we are looking for. $500 million is what it's going to take to build the PASETA. Have you seen how beautiful the concept design of PASETA is? It's better than anything, because anything that African touches, African makes it beautiful. The design of PASETA, from the pyramids to the designs of the school, the agricultural site, the school playground, the sport field, the technology that we'll be having in our studios, the workshops at the school, everything, to the student accommodation, everything, it looks beautiful of PASETA. And unfortunately, it needs money. Unfortunately, it needs money, African people. So the question is, are we going to stand and watch academia be built in front of us and we do nothing? That is the big question. When are we going to wake up as African people and say, if we can just get 1,000 people to each contribute 50 rand, that's it. PASETA will be built. The first stage of PASETA will be built. We have to chase that 400 million like nobody's business. We have to chase that 400 million like nobody's business, like we believe in it. The problem is, and many African people don't understand, is that if we don't solve this problem in our generation, the next generation will have to face the same problem. So our grandchildren will still attend schools that speak nothing about practical work, that speaks nothing about problem solving, that speaks nothing about economical participation, meaningful participation, nothing. They will just learn how the grasses grow and how mathematics works and whatever. They will never learn advanced technology. They will never learn African history. They will never learn those things that can truly change their mind. Now the question is, what has indoctrinated us? What has bewitched us to a point that we are so relaxed African people? What has bewitched us? We need to wake up. We need to wake up and answer to this call of the youth of June 16. The youth that stood up, primary children taking bullets and dying on that ground in Soweto. Me and you have got no right to sit and do nothing. Me and you have got absolutely no right to sit and do nothing. PASETA is for you. PASETA is for me, and PASETA is for the coming generation. They are building. They are building. What are we doing? What are we doing? How can you struggle to take out 50 rand each month? How is that even a struggle for a working African person? If you are not working, it's understandable. If you are a working African person, whether you are self-employed, whether you are employed by someone, 50 rand each month, you can't do that for the next generation? We need to check ourselves, African people. We need to check ourselves, because we'll be making a lot of noise next year when academia finally opens, and you will be seeing the African people running there, because we lack leadership with solutions in South Africa. We lack leaderships with solutions in Africa. But it starts with you. It starts with me. What is it that we're going to do? We are not popular. We don't have big organizations that can give us billions of rand. We don't have politicians that are buying into the dream of PASETA. The question is, what is it that we have is our numerical advantage? Each one can teach one, and each one can contribute 50 rand. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Let's build PASETA. Let's not fail the coming generation. If we fail, it's fine. But let's not fail the coming generation. They need this, because they will be facing a world where AI has taken over almost all the industries, where there will be no jobs. And if you don't have AI at your schools right now, just imagine what is going to happen to those learners when they have to compete with AI 10 years from now. It's coming. Thank you so much, guys, for giving me this opportunity to speak to you. All I can say is that PASETA, I hold it.